call me. I've had homeowners that I shot for because they know my name. Came into an open house, like, it happens occasionally. But I will say that it would never happen. And I'll give you an example.
Well, what happens when that happens? Do you then take that, say, oh, let me reconnect you with the agent that's doing
1,000%. Let me go further than that. Okay. Let's say you're an agent at ABC Realty, and I'm shooting your listing on Main Street. Okay. I'm outside with my camera, right? I'm outside with my Nikon, taking my pictures. And the neighbor comes over and says, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" It's New York, bro. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I introduce myself. Now, remember, at that point, that neighbor, listen, if it was a normal, any other situation, I tell them, "Hey, it's none of your business. Take a walk." I'm in New York. And it is none of their business what I'm doing. Realistically, though, that's not the proper answer. So I might say that I'm obviously a photographer and I'm taking pictures of that house. Now, it may not be public yet that listing is going live. It may not be public. The seller may not have wanted any of the neighbors to know that the house is being sold. So I'm really not supposed to say, well, they're selling their house and I'm taking their pictures. So I have to figure out a quick way to say something. But the reality is there's your answer. I do not say, well, why don't you give me a call later on? I'll say, let me get the agent over here. Let me get my client over here. Mike, come on over here. This gentleman would like to talk to you. Now, what happens, Dan, and again, I know you're not a real estate broker, if I remember correctly, right? I'm a broker. It's literally in my blood. When that neighbor comes over to me, let's turn the tables around. Let's say I'm an agent and I'm putting my open house sign out.
Stay there. I'm curious. You're there.
Right.
You've been paid for by an agent. The neighbor is interested in listing their house for sale.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Does that lead go to your client?
Yes, sir. 100%. That's what I was just trying to say. And I'm sorry I was taking a little long to say it. If the neighbor comes over and says, "Hey, you taking pictures? I'm thinking of selling my house." To me, Dan, that is a fork in the road. That is a life choice. To be an SOB, I almost said a bad word, or to do the right thing. So now when I call the agent over and says, "Hey, Mike, this gentleman's thinking of selling his house." Now, Mike knows I'm a realtor. This guy just literally said, "I'm thinking of selling my house." That could be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in commission. If I take that guy's name and number, I'm a dog. And I don't deserve any business from that broker anymore. And I would be splattered upon. Every broker would know that I stole a lead. I specifically look for leads, which is what I was trying to say, when I'm outside a property. When someone walks by, they didn't even say hello to me. Dan, you see how I'm talking to you now? Someone walks by and I'm like, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing? You guys looking for a house in the neighborhood?" Because Mike here is the best broker in the neighborhood. "Mike, come on over here. Mike, you got a business card? Give this lady a card." They go, "Howard, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Meanwhile, that lady called him and said, "My sister is looking for a house." Not that one, in a different part of town. And Mike said, "Hey, thanks, Howard. I sold the lady a house. I didn't even meet her. You met her." Dude, that's what I'm here for.
So
I call myself an ambassador.
That's super important that it's clear.
Oh man, like a stone wall.
When you show up as a paid photographer for a listing, any which way to Sunday lead comes in, it's going to your client.
It'll never happen in a million years that I can't look myself in the mirror in the morning and be proud of who I'm looking at. And those are people that are thieves. They're literally stealing money from somebody. And I'm very passionate about that. So when I may literally bring somebody into the house to meet the agent because I'm there for the agent. And if the agent and Dan, this is part of what I consider my Matterport business, is that not only am I a photographer, click, anybody could click. I'm going to help the agent make more money. Not by taking a better picture, but by letting them think and making them think out of this box. So how, if I give you the Matterport link, hey, here's I shot your house, here's your link. I'm not helping them get hits on that link. I'm not helping them get that link in front of the for sale by owners that are in the area. I'm telling them, I take them out to lunch, take them out for pizza. It's a great thing to do is to help. And again, I'm saying I'm 60 years old. I'm looking at my life. I love helping a new agent get a new listing. It's the greatest feeling in the world, and it
Right.
and it works.